Ever wondered what it takes to catch a killer? It's more than just chasing leads and collecting evidence. For some, it means stepping into the darkness, walking in the footsteps of a monster, and risking a piece of your own soul. This is the story of Detective Jane Doe, a brilliant investigator whose greatest weapon was her ability to think like the killers she hunted. But this gift came at a terrible price. Our story begins in a city gripped by fear. A ghost, they called him. The Origami Killer. His calling card. A series of macabre, meticulously folded paper figures left at each crime scene. The police were stumped. The public was terrified. And the body count was rising. Every victim was found in a serene, almost peaceful pose, a stark contrast to the brutality of their end. The city needed a hero, but what they got was something far more complex. Enter Detective Jane Doe. Young, sharp, and with an unnerving intuition that bordered on psychic. While her colleagues saw chaos, Jane saw a pattern, a twisted logic. She wasn't just looking at the evidence. She was trying to understand the mind that created it. She'd spend hours at crime scenes, long after the forensics team had packed up, trying to feel what the killer felt, see what he saw. She'd recreate the scenes in her mind, over and over, piecing together a psychological puzzle that no one else could even see. Her methods were unorthodox, to say the least. She'd fill her office with replicas of the origami figures, study the precise folds, trying to decipher their meaning. Was it a message? A memory? A ritual? Her captain thought she was losing it. Her partner, Mark, worried she was getting too close, too obsessed. He'd find her late at night, staring at the victims' photos, her expression a mirror of their silent screams. "You can't let him get in your head, Jane," he'd warned, but for Jane, it was already too late. That was the only way she knew how to work. To understand the hunter, you have to understand her past. Jane wasn't born a detective. She was forged in tragedy. Years ago, her own family fell victim to an unsolved crime, a home invasion that left scars no one could see. That trauma didn't break her. It rewired her. It gave her a unique, terrifying empathy for both the victim and the perpetrator. She understood loss, but she also understood the rage that could drive a person to unspeakable acts. This dual perspective was her secret weapon, but also her greatest vulnerability. As the Origami Killer case intensified, the lines began to blur. Jane's nightmares became more vivid. She started seeing the world through the killer's eyes. A walk in the park wasn't just a walk. It was an exercise in spotting vulnerabilities. A crowded subway car became a sea of potential targets. She started to isolate herself, pushing Mark and everyone else away. The case was consuming her. She was no longer just hunting the killer. She felt like she was becoming him. The breakthrough came from an unlikely source, an old, obscure book on Japanese folklore she found in a dusty corner of a secondhand bookstore. The origami figures weren't random. They corresponded to an ancient tale of betrayal and revenge. This wasn't just murder. It was a story being told, one body at a time. The killer wasn't a monster. He was a storyteller, and he believed his victims deserved their fate. With this new insight, Jane's focus shifted. She wasn't just looking for a killer anymore. She was looking for a man consumed by a past trauma, a man seeking a twisted form of justice. She dug into old case files, looking for crimes that matched the folklore's narrative of betrayal. And then she found it, a decades-old corporate scandal, a man who lost everything: his family, his reputation, his life, because of the greed of his partners, the victims of the Origami Killer. They were the children of those partners. The final confrontation wasn't a high-speed chase or a shootout, it was a battle of minds. Jane found him in his workshop, a sterile white room filled with thousands of origami figures, a paper monument to his pain. He wasn't a cackling villain, he was a quiet, broken man. He saw a kindred spirit in Jane. He had researched her, knew her past. He believed they were the same, both victims of a cruel world. He didn't fight her, he simply talked. He explained his art, his justice. And for a terrifying moment, Jane understood him. She saw the logic in his madness, the pain behind his rage. He offered her a choice: join him, help him finish his story, and find the peace they both craved. It was her dark journey's ultimate test. Would she step over the line she had walked for so long? In that quiet workshop, surrounded by paper ghosts, Jane Doe faced the reflection of her own darkness. She saw what she could become if she let her own trauma win, and in that moment, she made a choice. She arrested him, not with anger, but with a sad, profound understanding. She didn't just cuff a killer. She saved herself. The case was closed. The city could breathe again, but Jane was forever changed. She had walked through the valley of the shadow of death and come back, but she didn't come back whole. She had seen the abyss, and the abyss had seen her. She solved the case, but the real mystery, the one inside her own mind, was just beginning. Her journey shows us that the fight against the monsters outside is often a battle with the monsters within. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the human psyche. See you next time.